Hello and welcome to the fifth attempt to get this working. Now, we've got a few things open. We've got a swaying lantern from my lanterns mod. We've got a piece of rope here from the creation kit. We've also got a ETAC lantern that we want to put on the end of that rope to make it sway. So let's start with this rope. We need to split this up because we don't want the whole thing to sway. We just want the stick of rope down the bottom to sway and the top to remain static. So first we'll check the transformations, and that's quite horrible. If we export these numbers into Blender or this model into Blender, it will be very hard to work with. So we'll move this into the middle like so. Okay, how's that? That's pretty good. And then we'll apply that transformation. Now there's also a little end cap that goes here. That's currently stuck up there. So let's try and grab that. I'm not too worried about this little thing, but if you were doing this carefully, it would be important to make sure that you got all the elements of the mesh that you wanted. Okay, there we go. That's pretty good. But we'll just be sticking with this big piece for now. So we want to export that. Okay, my new rope object. We'll copy over that. And then we'll bring that into Blender. My new rope. Make sure the axes are right. Okay, there it is. Now we want to get into that, and we want to split this up. So let's take all of these points and we'll separate those out to a separate object. Okay, we'll stretch these up a bit. And we'll stretch this side down a bit. And that's just so that when it sways, we won't have any big gaps opening up between the two rope elements. Okay, so let's get these back into NIFScope. Export as 3ds. Here's the top, and we want only that selection. And the bottom. Here's our bottom. Okay, so we've got our two elements now. Okay, and let's bring one of them back into here. Bring in our top element. Okay. Right, there's our top element, and we want to keep that handy because that's going to be our static element that goes at the top. Now let's have a look at our lantern here. And I know that when my lantern sways, the pivot point is up here, just inside the loop. So I want to keep that lantern case in there for as long as I can so that I can use that as a reference. But I can get rid of the candle and I can get rid of the glass. Okay, whoops, oh, wrong one. All right, let's open that again. Okay, get rid of the glass. Get rid of the candle. Okay, there's my case. Now, over here we can see we've got our top node and we've got our object node. The object node includes our ragdoll. That's the disk there. That indicates a ragdoll. And it has our actual lantern object. That means that any objects we put under this node are going to be subject to the constraints of the ragdoll, and anything outside that will not be part of the ragdoll. So if I go to my rope, I can copy that block. Okay, whoops. Okay, I'll have to update those arrays first. Okay, array update, update my normals, update my tangents, update my bitangents, and update my vertex colors. Okay, let's try that again. Copy that branch, no problem this time. Now, instead of pasting it into this object node here, which we already have, we're just going to paste it straight under the top node. Okay, and now this object, my rope, is on a separate node to my lantern. So my rope will not be subject to this ragdoll constraint. If I were being really picky, I'd put in another collision object for that shape, but I'm not too fussed about that right now. Excuse me. So next, what we want to do is bring over our lantern and also bring over the rest of this rope. So let's get this rope where it needs to be first. And it needs to be in just the right place to match the pivot point of the existing ragdoll. So we'll put it down to about there. So minus 25 down. Okay. Then we want to take our lantern node or our lantern shape, make a copy of it, and paste it into the same node. Okay, and then we want to import our lower rope section into there. Okay. So all we've really done is taken that mesh element of the lantern that we copied and we've imported this shape over the top of it. And after we've done that, of course, we would have to fix up all the textures and so on as well. Okay, bring that down. How does that look? That's not quite in the right place. Push that back up a little bit. That looks pretty good. Okay. So there's our rope. And you can see we put that length of rope, which we want to actually sway or swing, inside this node that is controlled by the ragdoll. Okay, so that's that parent node there. That includes our swaying rope. And now we want to add our lantern elements, which is very easy. We take that shape, copy, and we want it to be in the same ragdoll node. So paste that. We'll take our glass, paste that, and we'll take our candle, paste that. Okay, now we can get rid of this old lantern base. We don't need that anymore. Okay, let's take this, move it down a bit further. Okay, that looks pretty good. So that's minus 44. Means we'll move this down -44, and we'll move the candle down -44. So make sure all those elements stay together. Okay, and then we have it. So now, once again, here's our static node, which is at the top there, and everything under this node, everything under here, is going to be subject to the ragdoll. So that's our rope, lantern, glass, and the candle as well. Let's just check these names, because if these name fields are blank, then you are going to get a crash when you try to use that mesh in the game. As long as there's something in there, we're not too worried. If I were worried, I would actually make meaningful names, but I'm not that fussed, frankly, just for this. So let's put this in our meshes. Okay, we'll call this our new swing lantern. Save that. Go to the creation kit. Find something that's already swaying. Okay. And make it our new swaying lantern. We'll find that mesh that we just had. Here it is, new swaying lantern mesh. Okay, and you see the texture is missing there because we didn't bother putting in any textures. Okay, so we'll have to go back and do that later. Create a new form, definitely. Okay, let's just open anything really. We can put this inside a house, it doesn't really matter. Okay, just for the purposes of demonstration, here's a nice beam that we can use. Okay, we'll take our new swaying lantern, put it there. Now, actually, I'm not sure if the weather is going to give us enough wind to make this move inside someone's house. There's our new lantern. Let's see if we can get it to swing or enable habit. Oh, very slightly. Okay, let's try going outside. Hopefully this won't take too long to load. Looks like we're still recording, so that's good news. Okay, here we go. Let's find blacksmith sign. Blacksmith sign. Here we go. Okay, so let's hang our lantern here. Okay, and now, whoa, turn that off. Let's pretend we're putting it on this pole, and of course you want to be scaling it to accurately sit on the pole. Okay, but now that we're outside, we can get some good weather effects. Turn Havoc back on. And there you go. There's a swinging lantern. Now, of course, that doesn't look too realistic at the moment, so what we would have to do is go back into NifScope, check out our ragdoll, okay, and just play with the effects here. So we've got the twist angles, so here we go, most of them will be in the rigid body settings. We've got our restitution force, maximum velocities, angular, and so on. We've got some damping. So for a pendulum like that, you'd want fairly low damping. We would want... there's all sorts of things to play with here. There's time constants. What's that other one? There we go. Time factors, which can affect the period. You've got the mass. Okay, so this is the rigid body, not the T, but the other rigid body is the one that makes the most sense to play with. So just try playing with things like the mass, the damping forces, and the time factors, even the friction if you want it to keep swinging freely. And you can get your pendulum to work nicely and realistically, because Skyrim doesn't really have a physics simulator. It's really more of a physics emulator. But it does a pretty good job. So you just want to slow that pendulum down a bit if you can. But it works. That's a swaying pendulum. So I hope that helps, and have fun.